Rocks.tv. I'm Jeff Tureaud, I'll be your host today, and today we have a special guest, Sandy Sasso. Hi Sandy.
Hi Jeff.
How are you? Welcome to the show. Thanks for
so
coming.
Much. Oh, I'm really happy to be here.
My honor.
I don't know, I think it might be mine. This is a really special place.
It is. You're special. I saw you, I met you, you didn't know who I was. Not that I'm anybody, but I saw you at Alaire, and I go to the Jazz Fest. I do a lot of photography at Alaire, and I saw you at the the Wine Fest.
The Wine Festival, that's right.
Yes, I was drinking wine at the time.
Lucky you! We couldn't get off the bandstand.
And I couldn't steal one of your CDs. I thought, I had no idea that you had to pay for it. I went over and I went, oh, okay, I'll take, how many can I have? And you go, well, you're from the stage, you go, you got to pay for them. So, oh, and then I saw the sign.
Yes, that's true,
So,
that's true.
That's
well,
right.
it was confusing because I had a big little basket filled with matches and little free things, and it said free, take one.
I heard free.
Free, well, free
So
is
that
better.
made me walk over.
But it was a natural thing to do, and I said, wait a minute, no,
I
that
bought a
can't
couple.
be free. Well,
I'll
thank
let
you
you
so
know.
much, thank you, I appreciate it.
Just to let you know.
That's a good thing, it's a good thing. Support the arts any way we can.
Yeah, it's always fun. And you have several albums out. Which one was your first album?
My very first one was Mixed
This
Grill.
one?
I don't know if you can see that. We'll just hold that up. Maybe you can, maybe you can't. This was my first foray into a product, and I was fortunate enough to record with the Nelson Riddle Orchestra, which was really a trip. I had been on the road for years with Chris Riddle. He took over the direction of the band after his dad had passed away. And of course, it's, full-blown horns, trombones, reeds, it's just wonderful.
You're a big band. You have a big setup.
I have
Trumpets, saxes, keyboard.
That's correct.
What else?
The full rhythm, the full brass, bones, trumpets,
It's awesome.
the full reeds, all the, the saxes, and the full rhythm section, and it's great. But that was my foray as a young singer. When I first started out, I had gotten a chance audition for this local big band, where the guys just get together and they play. And I thought I didn't know really anything about big band at all. And I said, well, all right, I'll just go audition. I was like 20, 21, just young and dumb and fearless, nothing to get me. And I went and I auditioned and I got hired, and I was surprised. And then it started a world opening to me, because primarily my background is as a jazz singer. That's what I do almost exclusively, except for when I have a big band performance. And because I got known as a big band singer, I started working more and more with big bands. And then I got hooked up with Riddle, and then I got hooked up with the Jimmy Dorsey, then I got hooked up with the New Jersey Pops, then I got hooked up with the Benny Goodman Tribute Band.
They all loved you.
What's not to love? Well, I mean,
That's
for me
right.
anyway, for me, it was what singer gets to stand in front of 17 guys blowing,
It was great. It's a great experience.
It's unbelievable.
Loved it.
Oh,
That's what I said.
too.
I said, I got to get a run. I hope I went like this. Called you and you said yes. I'm
Yes.
going, oh,
Yes,
really?
absolutely. How could I not want to do this? This is wonderful. Get to talk to you. You're so pleasant. Get to talk about myself. Who doesn't want to talk about themselves? So, yeah.
Some people are shy.
Some people are shy. I'm not.
Me neither. And what's your second one?
Oh, my second one was this. I love this. I love them all. This is called All My Men. And this was a tribute
All my men. All your men. You got lots of men.
I have lots of men. Lots of men. And the CD is dedicated to all the literally hundreds of male musicians that I've worked with all my years. And there was an original tune called All My Men. So that was really great. And that did well. I have some superb jazz cats on that. That was really an amazing.
So do you go out drinking with these guys?
Sometimes you do, sometimes you don't. It depends on who's flying off to Japan after the session, or who's doing this, or who's doing that. I mean, these guys fly in and they record, and a lot of them they're out there.
These are professionals. These aren't your...
No, these are the guys.
Right.
This is the A-team.
Yeah,
These are
they're
the A-team.
older. Most of them are... a little
Some of them are older,
and
some of them
very
are...
experienced.
They're major cats. I mean, who's on here? Harry Allen is on here. Grady Tate is on here. I can't even see who the rest of the... Marcus McClure, an amazing bass player. Bob DeVoe, who is really hot right now. He's got a new CD out. He's burning up the airways. So, it's great guys. Great guys. And then this was my next little trip.
I like this one.
I like that one a lot.
Is this the one with Who Dat? No.
Yep.
Oh, it is?
That Dare, yeah.
Who Dat?
Oh, no, actually, this is the one that has That Dare on it.
That
Yeah, I
Dare.
forget. This was a tribute album to my
Sandyland.
life. Yeah, this was my life. I wanted the people that knew me to really know who I am. And there's a lot of art in all my CDs. I like the art aspect of it as opposed to just downloading or something like that. I think when you pick up a piece of art that someone has created, you get to understand a little more fully, actually, I should say, where the music comes from behind, because you can see. And the art in Sandyland is especially nice because it's pictures of my treehouse, pictures of my swings, pictures of my cat Blinky, who is on the front.
See that?
Yeah, and it's just it's a nice
swing.
It's a nice swing. My husband Charlie made that for me.
Did he actually make the swing?
He actually made the swing itself.
Mine's store bought.
Yes.
I made the structure.
And he made the treehouse too, but you can't really see. I'm going to open this up. This is a winter shot. You may or may not be able to see this. This is a treehouse my husband and his friend built for me for cocktail parties, which is quite wonderful. Until you have to get down the ladder, and then it's tricky.
You don't have cocktails up there.
Yes, we do.
Oh, there you
Yes,
go.
we have a bucket with a rope, and we bring up
Bring
our
it
bottle
up.
of wine, and
Wine on its way.
wine on its way.
Yeah.
Wine coming up, second floor, and so that's what happens.
And your newest album is Sandy Sasso, Hands On.
Hands on. At this point, I decided that I was more than capable to wear all the hats. I knew how to master and mix, which is tricky. Of course, I had a superlative sound engineer, Joe DeMeo of Surefire Studios in Long Branch. I executive produced it. I wrote some of the songs. I did almost all the arrangements of the music, hired the musicians, wrote a couple of originals, and did it all on my own, everything. And I have to say, that's funny. That comes...
On your CD, it says, "Then I'll do it myself."
And so she did.
Sometimes
Yeah, can you flip
you
that
have
around
to.
and see if that... I don't know if you're going to be able to grab this. This is a chicken wearing an apron, and it says, "And then I'll do it myself," and so she did.
Sometimes you have to, right?
You have to.
You just gotta, you have a dream about something, and you search for help here and there, and after years of trying, sometimes.
Yeah, many years of trying.
You just give up and say, I'll do it myself.
And you know what, too, Jeff? I realized, although I've had very good producers, I've had 2 different producers on the first 3 CDs, but I realized no one was going to do it as thoughtfully or as carefully as I was going to do it, because it was about me. And I don't want to rush through the mastering and the mixing, which is really crucial. That's where the final sound comes out. And I had my sound engineer, again, Joe DeMeo. We took months to master it and mix it. I said it has to be perfect, and I really, really like this CD. I like all my work, but this one I think is my favorite right now.
Sandy Sasso, Hands On, and we're going to put your information up here so that
great.
everybody can go to your website and hopefully buy a CD from you.
Yeah.
Help support the arts there.
Support the arts there, and also my performance schedule is up there, so you can log on my website, find out where I am.
You're all over the place. You're very busy.
I am very busy. Oh, it's such
Pretty
a blessing.
amazing. You're never home.
I'm very busy, and then when I'm home, I'm busy when I'm home teaching.
That's right.
So it's
Do you
great.
teach right at your house?
I have a nice little studio in my home, and which is of course wonderful.
I like it.
Of course, it's the best thing to do.
You probably don't even have to walk out the back door. Do you have a separate?
No, the
It's
students
right
actually
in.
come through the front door and they hang out in
Nice.
the living room, and then
There
they
you
come
go.
right to
See,
the
that's
living
even
room.
better than me. I have to walk all the
You
way
have to
from
walk
the back.
out.
Right.
What an inconvenience!
Hey, if it's 3 feet of snow out there.
It's something to consider.
You know what I'd like to, maybe if you could, talk to the audience and people maybe watching this that can be inspired about how do I take the next step, because you teach a lot of kids.
I do, and adults as well. I
And
have both.
adults, and adults can be inspired too. They still have a chance.
They do. You have a chance until you close your eyes. You don't set a limit to yourself. Don't say, if I don't do it by 30, I'm getting out, because you may not do it at 30. You may do it at 40. You may do it at 50. You may do it at 60. To set a limit for yourself is stopping you in the process. You don't want to do that. You always want to leave that door open. You don't know what's going to happen. You can't possibly know what's going to happen. The craziest things have happened to me. I sang for President Reagan. Who would have thought?
Awesome.
Oh,
Nice.
he's so gorgeous. He was so gorgeous. You can't believe what he's like in person. Gigantic, tall, handsome, takes your breath away. And his wife, she's like this big. Just compared to him. So a little teeny tiny skinny little thing, you know, and he was this big strapping handsome man. That was a trip.
One of the few great presidents.
Well, you know, I like
besides
running.
George Washington.
You know, so I mean, you can take that where you want to take that, but right now
He was good. He turned things around. He didn't mess around.
He was good, but politics is tricky. You never know who's out there listening, you know, so I have to be careful.
That's all right.
But that was a cool thing. Yeah, I've had many wonderful experiences, and I just never shut the door on myself, and things come through.
That's the main thing I think that people should know, and kids and adults and so on, is that you don't stop. You don't quit. If you have a dream about something, you know, if you love it, it's not work.
It's not work, but where it becomes hard, and you know this, is sometimes it's frustrating. Sometimes you work so hard to get something done, and you're hitting the wall, and you're hitting the wall, and you're like, oh, I am fed up with this. I'm out, I'm done. And then you can't. You let it cool
Wake
down.
up the next day and you go, back in.
I'll try it again. I'm back in. And don't.
I was only kidding.
Yeah. And that's when you get the phone call. Or there's an email. 3 people bought your CD on CD Baby. And I go, oh, good morning.
Little boost up, thank you.
Or like,
sometimes you need that.
You do need it.
A little ego boost there.
You do need it.
You know, am I good or am I not good? Somebody said on one of my photo shoots, she goes, Jeff, you're the best. And I said, no. About 1 million people say I'm the second best.
Second best is good.
Second best is good. I'll take second best.
Out of 1 million people, second best
somebody
is good.
says, oh, you're the best. Nah, I can't. I personally can't even say that at all, ever.
You know what?
There's never the best. I never will hit that.
Because there's always somebody better. There's always somebody better, and there's always somebody worse. You can't be definitive about that. And that's really important if you're going to be a performer. You have to know what you're doing for yourself at that moment when you're on that stage in front of all the people that you're in front of. You have to just do what it is you do. And every day you're different. Some days my voice is amazing. I'll be singing and I think,
man, I was
gosh,
good on that one.
how did that come out of me? And then other days I get up and I go, oh, yeah, this is not a good day to be on the stage. But that's the way you sound that particular day, you know. You just don't know what you're going to do, and the audience has a big deal to do with it. Sometimes you have an audience that just buoys you up, and it's effortless.
Energy just comes flowing your way, and you can feel it.
It's effortless, you know. And when they do this, you go, oh yay,
Thank
yay!
you.
I like that. More. I like that. You know, it's a great thing. It's what we do.
And sometimes I crack a joke and you hear the crickets. I
Yeah,
guess you didn't like that one.
Gotta be careful with joke telling. I've done it on stage a few times and it's a 50-50 shot.
Right,
Sometimes it works and you think, this is interesting, and sometimes they just look at you with a blank stare and you go, okay, so for my next song, here we go.
So big band, what's your favorite? Like, just do you do solo jazz?
Almost exclusively is what I do.
So I saw you in big band.
You saw me in a big band venue, but the bulk of my work is jazz. That's what I've always done. I cut my teeth doing jazz at young, maybe 14, 15. I got hip to Dave Brubeck, and when I got hip to Dave Brubeck, it changed my life. I was like, whoa, what is this? And I fell in love with it, and I started listening to it. And I said, you know what, I think this is what I want to sing. I'm classically trained, so classically trained is a whole different world. You know, I was a voice major in college, studying opera and all that crazy stuff, which was wonderful because it gave me technique, which as a singer, you need to have that exercise, you know, that level of knowing physically what's going on in your body, in your throat, in your upper chest, and your back and your arms, all that stuff, and that's all classical. And then after a couple of years, I said, I can't do the opera. Just wasn't working for me.
You appreciate them then?
Of course I appreciate
knowing all
them.
that,
I know what it takes. I appreciate them, but it just wasn't what was going on for me.
They make it look easy.
The good ones.
Yeah.
The good ones make it look real easy, but then I said, no, I've got to get back into the jazz world, and went out and started really just plying my craft, knocking on doors, begging, please let me sing. Yeah, get out of here. Yeah, come back at 2 o'clock, you know, and you're hoping they'll let you sing one little song at 2 o'clock in the morning, and sometimes they do, and sometimes they don't. But that's how it is. And then once in a while, somebody will say, hey, can you work with me next Saturday? And oh my God. Oh, joy, oh, bliss, I have a gig, and it's going to pay me $25. This is amazing. I'm making $25 doing it, and I'm singing. And that's how it starts. And, you know,
Work your way up from there. So a lot of
Yeah.
people, you have a lot of students coming to your home.
Yes, I do.
And you're teaching. So that information is on your website also.
That information is on my
Good, so I
website.
want everybody to know where to go when they need anything.
Absolutely. Visit me. You can send me email. You can look up to link up to my emails and shoot me a little email and say, "Hey, I saw you on."
Speak out.
Speak out. Yeah. And
Let it be known.
I know.
Ask and you shall receive.
Asking you, yeah. Or in this case, asking you shall have to buy, but that's okay. I know.
Buy this.
Buy it.
Love it. It's great. Great music. I have all four. I bought all four.
Thank you so
And
much.
love listening to them one right after another. They're all different.
I know. They are all different. That's the nice thing about it. It's a good life. It's a great life. Luciano Pavarotti, and I have that on one of my quotes on this one. A life spent in music is a beautiful life, and it's true. Anything in the arts is.
I always say, sure beats working. I keep it simple.
It's nice.
Beats working.
It's nice if you can do it.
Actually, people at weddings, especially, that people are saying, "Whoa, that you really work hard." I said, "When did I work? I'm just hanging out at your party."
Oh yeah.
So, this is just fun.
It is fun. It's a lot of fun. But you know what? It is, the other side of it is a lot of work in many ways. Just the physicality of it, especially for me, when you're dragging all your gear into a
that's
club,
the hard
I mean,
part.
that's, setting all that stuff
Oh,
up. It doesn't happen by magic.
No,
You're
right.
there with the guys dragging in your
Lot
600
of
pounds of
equipment.
gear.
Mhm.
Yeah, setting it up. At the end of the night, good night, breaking down your equipment,
Exactly.
dragging it back out again, But
Hoping
that's-
you don't break anything. It's
I know.
expensive.
It's expensive. Ran a speaker through a guy's front door in his club one time. That was
It
$1,000 bucks.
Stuff happens.
It does happen. But how lucky am I to be able to do what I've always known I was going to do since I was a tiny little girl. I
That's
knew
great.
this is it. Yeah. In some capacity, I knew I was going to do it in some capacity.
It's great that you can make a living out of it.
Well,
A lot of artists,
Yes.
they don't call them starving artists for nothing.
It's true.
It's literally,
Yeah.
they have a hard time making ends meet.
You do have a hard time, which is one of the primary.
Still have bills.
You have bills, and thank goodness I have a strong
Like to
student
eat.
base, because that's the thing. Most musicians that are full-time musicians like I am also teach. You really have to. You can't depend on that one gig that's going to come in and pay you $100. And believe me, that's what most of the gigs are, especially in the jazz world. The gigs do not pay unless you're a major, major, major star, unless you're like on the A team of, well-knowns, I'm trying to think of Diane Reeves, or right now Dee Dee Bridgewater just did something on Broadway, so she's really commanding a lot of money. Diana Krall, these are names that are getting paid big money. People like me on the B level of the tier of the singers, you're going to get paid, but you're not going to be getting that
The major.
the major money.
Long.
Yeah. Okay, we're gonna fly you over, coach, and you all have to share a hotel room, and not again, and things like that. But it's cool. It's cool.
It's fun.
Still cool, yeah.
It's good life. Well, thanks for coming on, Sandy. I'm honored that you're here.
This is fun.
I was really surprised you said you'll be on. I said,
Why not?
man.
This is wonderful.
Sandy Sasso on the show. And
Just
you'll be
hanging
on
out.
the Wall of Fame here.
Oh, I'm loving that. That's a great thing. Thank you, dear Ann.
Nice to see you.
This was a joy.
My pleasure.
All right.
Okay?
Thanks.
Say goodbye to everybody. Thanks for watching MJ Rock TV.
This has been an NJRocks.tv presentation, darling.
There'll be no one to stop us this time.